Now at 6, a serial killer freed. Catherine Wood, the Alpine Manor murderer, released from prison.
If I was a neighbor, I'd want to definitely know that we have a serial killer living next door.
She's a serial killer and she could do it again. And most of them do. I wouldn't want my grandchildren or elderly parents being around her.
Tonight, we're in Florida as she walks free, talking with family members of her victims and former police worried she will kill again. Good evening, everyone. I'm Emily Leonard.
And I'm Brian Sterling. More than 30 years after she helped kill at least 5 elderly women in a West Michigan nursing home, serial killer Catherine Wood walked out of prison today.
Target 8 investigator Ken Kolker has covered the Alpine Manor nursing home murders even before Wood's arrest. He was there this morning as she was set free in Florida.
Catherine Wood walked out of this federal prison in Tallahassee today, released over the objections of the relatives of the women she helped kill. They fear that she'll kill again. It's more than 1,000 miles from the old Alpine Manor nursing home in Walker to the Tallahassee federal prison that Wood has called home for most of the last 3 decades. But conditions of Wood's parole show that she won't be coming back to live in Michigan, at least for now. Instead, Target 8 has learned that she is headed to live with her sister in Fort Mill, South Carolina, a city of 17,000 people just outside Charlotte, North Carolina.
I'm glad she's not coming back here, okay, but on the other side of the coin, I sympathize with the people that's going to be living around her wherever she goes.
Attorney John Ingman, son-in-law of victim Mae Mason, helped lead the fight to keep Wood locked up after the Michigan Parole Board in 2018 ordered her release. The parole board had denied Wood's release 8 times before, finding she was a potential danger and was not remorseful.
If I was a neighbor, I'd want to definitely know that we have a serial killer living next door.
Retired Walker Police Sergeant Roger Kaliniak, who helped investigate the murders at Alpine Manor Nursing Home in 1987, fears that the 57-year-old Wood could kill again.
She's a serial killer and she could do it again. And most of them do.
Wood spent most of her adult life in the Federal Correctional Institution in Tallahassee, kept separate from her accomplice in the murders, Gwendolyn Graham, who is serving life without parole in Michigan.
We started talking about killing people.
She testified against Graham, saying that Graham had suffocated the victims with washcloths as she acted as a lookout. But investigators believe that Wood was more involved, and there could have been as many as a dozen victims.
I believe that Kathy Wood was the mastermind. She was the one that was pulling strings on Gwendolyn Graham. Gwendolyn Graham handled the dirty work, and Kathy Wood was the brains behind it.
They killed to bind their love and at first tried to spell murder with their victims' initials. The victims, ages 60 to 98, all suffered from dementia or Alzheimer's disease. Kaliniak's partner in the investigation, retired Detective Sergeant Tom Freeman, believes that Wood has earned her freedom. She got 20 to 40 years in prison in exchange for her testimony. But Kaliniak disagrees.
It's a horrific crime that these 2 people were involved in, and I think that both of them should be in prison forever.
My fear is that she will find some old people, incorporate herself into their family, take their property, take their lives, and move on and do it again.
The South Carolina Parole Board says that conditions of Wood's parole will not allow her to work with the elderly, with vulnerable adults, or children. But that parole ends in June 2021. After that, it's up to Catherine Wood. In Tallahassee, Florida, Ken Kolker, News 8.